London seemed the right place to do it. Lewis has it.
Who say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
And thank you very much to Jewel.
Well, a wonderful atmosphere here. That was Jewel singing the American anthem here tonight, and we now await the entrance of the two fighters. What do we expect here, Glenn?
Well, it all depends what we get in this opening round. I think, what's Lennox Lewis going to bring? Has he got the confidence? Has Hasim Rahman rattled him? What's it going to be? It's all about Lennox. It's what Lennox got left, what he got left to give.
No excuses this time either for Lennox Lewis. This time he's in shape. There's been no complacency. The preparation's been right, and Lennox Lewis has to come in first as the challenger. Here is Lewis. After 24 years as a boxer, and 10 of them at the very top, Lewis faces a night that will define him in boxing history. 7 months on from a sensational knockout defeat in South Africa. Is it to be revenge and redemption, or repeat and retirement? It's that stark for him.
It is, it really is. This is probably the most important fight of Lennox Lewis's career. Everything on the line here, how he's going to be remembered, everything. And he looks focused, he looks ready, he looked tremendous at the weigh-in, he looked very, very well. Now it's all about what he does in the opening round. How ready is he?
Tunnel vision from Lennox Lewis, two-time world heavyweight champion. Will he become a three-time world heavyweight champion? He looks right, doesn't he?
He does. He looks right. He looks focused. He knows he's got a mission here. He's got something to do. He's got to go out there and turn back time and regain the form that saw him as the best heavyweight in the world, head and shoulders above anybody else.
After everything he's done, he finds that he gets in the ring having to re-establish himself at the age of 36. In history, in 13 immediate rematches for the heavyweight title, the same man has won 10 times. Jack Sharkey, disqualified against Max Schmeling, beaten the next time. Floyd Patterson, KO'd in 3 by Ingemar Johansson, wins the rematch a year later. Muhammad Ali, beaten by 7-fight novice Leon Spinks in 1978, wins on points. Against all that, this man has been there before, knocked out by Oliver McCall, beat him in the rematch, but not an immediate one. And here comes Rahman now. Is he too buzzed up? Is he too confident? Has he been too exuberant? Or are we completely underestimating One Punch Wonder or the new star of the division?
Well, I mean, there's so many questions in this fight. It really is, it's wide open. Did Rahman get lucky? Was it that sort of punch? What is it a bit? Can he do it again? He's got total belief in himself all the time. He looks strong, he's looked ready, he's looked focused, so confident, so sure of what he was going to do and what he did last time. Remember, when he went to South Africa, he was very, very confident then. He said exactly what he was going to do, and he did it. He's saying the same thing again. Can he do it again?
Tonight will tell us more about the man propelled from obscurity to multi-millionaire by one manic moment in Carnival City. After that, he got a $25 million deal from Don King, and $500,000 of that was paid in readies on the spot at 2:30 a.m. in a hotel room. His world has been transformed, but he hasn't changed. He says it's important for him to be the right kind of role model. But is he good enough? He has been beaten by Tua. All right, there was controversy there, but Tua stopped him, and Oleg Maskayev, an ordinary fighter really, knocked him out the ring.
In the last fight, it looked like an easy job for Lennox Lewis. I think that's why Lennox paid the price. That's why Lennox lost. Now, he did it. He did the impossible. He knocked Lennox Lewis out. He knocked him out in great style. And he believes in himself now. He said he's going to do it again. He's just been so confident. He's been so full of himself throughout the build-up to this fight. Total belief in himself. So can he do it again? Can he elevate? Can he improve from what he was before?
It's a remarkable story. A man who was nearly killed in a car crash. He had half of his face, more or less, scraped away. Was that the weapon of his friend, who he will only refer to as Mike, who was killed in that crash? He believes he survived for a reason. He was shot 5 times on the streets of Baltimore when he was 18. There are the rules for tonight's fight. Unified rules, no 3 knockdown rule in effect. That's the main thing there, really. Has to go 4 completed rounds before they would go to the scorecards in the event of a cut. Here we go.
Gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the beautiful Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as it's time for the featured bout of the evening. And it's all brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Lion Promotions, Main Events, the Mandalay Bay, and Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the WBC, President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor Mauricio Sulaiman, the IBF President Marian Mohammed, Supervisor Mahafsan Scott, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Luther Mack, commissioners Amy Ayub, Dr. Tony Alamo, Glenn Carano, and Dr. Philip Omansky, with the executive director Mark Ratner. Introducing to you our judges, scoring this bout from ringside, all from Las Vegas, Nevada, Patricia John Manning, Dave Moretti, and Jerry Roth. And the third man to the ring, the referee in charge of this bout, he is working in this, his 145th world title bout, Joe Cortez. All right, fans, here we go, live from the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's time for the bout you've all been waiting for, the main event of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing for the heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing white trunks with red trim, hailing from London, England. He weighed in already 246 and 1/2 pounds. His record stands at 38 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 29 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 1988 Olympic gold medalist, the former 2-time and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Here is tonight's challenger, introducing Lennox Lewis. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, the defending world champion, entering the ring wearing red, white, and blue trunks, fighting out of and representing his home of Baltimore, Maryland. He weighed in at 236 pounds with a record of 35 wins, 2 losses. He has 29 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight he is making the first defense of his title. Please welcome the WBC, the IBF, and the IBO heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the hard-hitting Hasim, the Rock Rahman.
what will happen in the first round here. It could be so revealing. Will Lewis come out in gung-ho fashion to take the plate right away from Rahman? Lewis is not sweating. Why, Glenn?
No, he's not. He didn't look very warm. He didn't look very loose. He's standing very, very still. He should be more warmed up than that. He needs a good start.
Rahman looked the more nervous of the two for the first time this week when they walked in.
He did. Stand in the ring, he did.
I expect a good clean fight, but when good sportsmanlike contact, guys, these trunks here, Lennox, a little high. Punches here, above here, they're good. Same thing with you. Punches here, trunks a little high. Punches here is good. Give me a good clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. God bless you. God bless America. Touch them up.
Joe Cortez, who gets $8,000, by the way, for being the referee tonight. Rahman is on $5 million plus a cut of the pay-per-view. Lennox Lewis $11 million to add to his enormous earnings. Rahman, who was on $13,000, that's all, for the fight before he fought for the heavyweight championship. You can see the scars still on that side of his face from that car crash. A likeable, charming, charismatic man. Is he the future, or does Lennox reclaim the crown? How wary will Lewis be about that right hand? And remember too that Rahman in training has been working a lot on the left hook. The jab battle will be important as well, and Rahman can jab. There's not much in the reach between the two of them. And there is the Rahman jab, doubled up on it impressively.
Yes, that's what he does. He does try and double up through twos and threes, and that's what's good. That keeps Lennox off balance.
Lewis looking much sleeker than of late, nearly half a stone lighter than he was in South Africa 7 months ago. That's good. He's even lighter than he was a year ago against David Thua, when he put on something of a masterclass. Good work by Lewis behind his jab. He has to snap it up, and he's looking for the right hand too. He has a lot to prove. This man has ripped up his world in the last 7 months. Hammered his ego. Here's his chance to answer.
Lennox has shown the character to come back from a loss like that before. So can he do it again?
Working nicely behind the jab. So far, no sign of the Rahman right. A punch that changed heavyweight history in South Africa. Rahman would like to get close in if he could. He's been working on some moves for that scenario too.
That's a good jab from Lennox, nice and stiff. He needs to use that, that's very important.
This is good from Lewis so far. He's snappy. Fitter, far more focused. But he is 36 now. Will there be signs of the wear and tear if it becomes a long, hard battle? Can the legs do 12 rounds?
He's a great athlete, Lewis. He's been in the gym longer than ever before.
Lewis winning the battle of the jabs in the first round, but Rahman having his successes as he did in South Africa. There's blood by the left eye of Rahman. Remember, he was cut in the first fight.
Look where the left hand is of Lewis. It's very, very low.
It's the battle of the jabs in round one, and Rahman's got a little cut too. Fascinating. There it is again. He's really throwing the punch with authority. Doubles up on it. Lewis's first round, no question. Now, how bad's that cut for Rahman?
If you can't see the face, put the right hand into the stomach. The straight right hand to the stomach. Okay? Suck it in. Let's bit of water.
Not getting a good look at it. It did look in a bad place. It was just in the corner of the eye. He doesn't really need that this early in the fight. That was the result of the good jabbing of Lennox Lewis.
Grease already. Now here are these jabs. Lewis's reach, by the way, is 84 inches officially, and Rahman's 82. There's not a lot in it, though Rahman looks much the smaller man.
That was a good jab from Rahman there, rocked the head back of Lewis.
They were worried about the first round too. The Rahman camp, they thought that he might go to his head a bit, it could be danger for him. Here we go for round two. You hardly need the identification. Lewis, of course, in the white trunks. Using his boxing skills. Some wondered if he'd be tentative, whether Rahman had messed him up. Doesn't look that way, does it? Looks like he knows what he wants to do, and he's so far doing it, but there's a long, long way left. This man has been at the top now for 9 years. Don't forget that, Lennox Lewis. He's won 12 World Heavyweight Championship fights. Only 3 men in history have fought more times at this level than him. Joe Lewis, Muhammad Ali, and Larry Holmes. Great shot. Left hook, Lewis.
Solid punches. Lennox needs to keep it on the outside, use that reach.
Let's go.
Stepping in behind the jab. He's using the jab so far even better than he did against David Tua. Sometimes has a tendency to just pull with it and use it as a rangefinder. He kind of messes about with it. Not here.
Yes, he's using it well, but I don't like the way he's dropping that left hand. You know, he should have learned from the first fight. He needs to keep that hand up.
These just the opening salvos. That's a nice combination from Rahman, who says he's improving and says he has different punches to throw than Lewis saw in South Africa. It's a technical fight so far, but Emmanuel Stewart, the trainer of Lennox Lewis, says there'll come a time here where he might even have to get hit and hurt and go toe-to-toe to knock it out of Rahman. And if that happens, we really will see something.
It's nice from Lewis, the left, right.
Rahman 7 years younger, remember. Certainly the fresher of the two, you'd think anyway, but without Lewis's pedigree.
Rahman does look strong, pressing forward.
These tactics are going to ask a lot of Lewis's legs.
Yes, they are. He's using the ring a lot, but the jab's going out. Nice double jab.
It's a smart start by Lennox Lewis, and Rahman is frustrated as the bell goes to round two. Both rounds to Lennox, I would suggest.
Yes, I would agree, and good work from the jab. That's the start that he needed, just dominating behind that. He's having to move quite a bit, and I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep that up.
Just take it away from him. Even if you want to just sit in front of him, just shield it in front of him. You can't do this. You're going to get him until you fall on a bit.
No Frank Maloney these days. He's back with the boys in London tonight. I wonder how he's feeling about all that as he watches these pictures with the same old team in the corner. The good old Cutsman, Al Gavin. This is just precautionary, isn't it?
Yeah, just making sure that no swelling develops. Just keep it in the eyes. Just nice and tight there, the skin down.
But has the real fight started yet?
I don't think it has yet, but this is good from Lewis. This is what he needs. He needs to get into the fight, to warm up, to get the reflexes going.
Here comes round three for the heavyweight championship of the world. Rahman needs a bit more head movement. He might be improving, but that jab, Lewis can hardly miss him with it. Could be that if Lewis keeps doing that, he busts him up. Good shots though by Rahman. Did he make a little dent there?
Yes, it was the left hook, just seemed to have an effect on the legs of Lewis.
showing again here that he's not a bad operator. I think it was doing him a disservice just to say he was a fellow who came in off the street and hit a home run. More to it than that.
It's Lennox that's having to use the energy by moving about, Rahman keeping the centre out of the ring.
Can Lewis do this for 12 rounds on the jab alone? There's that right hand, which has been a honey punch for him down the years. Both of these two men at their lightest for 2 years, a measure of how thoroughly they were both prepared.
Break out, please. Let go.
Lewis trying to get up with the hook in the right hand. He likes that combination, left hook, straight right hand.
Circling away from Rahman's right. Trying to give him lateral movement all the time. Never quite there in front, so that he can be hit. Lovely combination, and Rahman troubled by that and looking disorganised for a moment. Hand speed was great from Lewis there.
This is a good start from Lewis. It's confident, he's focused, he's getting his punches up well.
And the cut gets a little worse by the eye of Rahman. So far, so good for Lewis in his quest to make history as a 3-time heavyweight champ. Good shot, left hook, that's what they've been working on. The Rahman camp up at Big Bear in the mountains of Northern California.
Yes, he thinks that Lewis will be looking for the right, and they've been working on the left hook, also the uppercut.
Still super sharp, Lewis, with the jab. Has he ever worked better with it?
Oh, he's very focused. The right hand is starting to come into play.
But if he keeps on hitting him with this jab, it's got to have an effect. It's going to start busting him up. Just once or twice in that round, Rahman showed 1 or 2 signs of distress, I thought. He's going to start getting frustrated if it carries on like this.
Yes, he is. He's going to start losing that belief that he's got with Lennox boxing so well.
Every time you come at you, do like this, put them hands up, that kills everything. Just keep doing that. You can't get over your arms. Every time you make any kind of...
They're trying to take Lewis's right hand out of the fight so he can't land it, but they failed there.
Yes, but that's good. Lewis throwing the left hook first, that just takes the concentration away from the right hand that comes. This is a good shot from Lewis. He does use that a lot.
And Rahman there looked disorganised momentarily.
Yes, he did. That one hurt him.
Rahman, a family man, a father of 3. His 10-year-old boy will be watching this, and his 5-year-old calls him Hasim, idolises him after seeing all the TV coverage he's been getting. But will he carry on being champion when he goes home? Lewis gets him again with a right. This is authoritative so far from Lewis, but the question remains, how will he cope if this develops into a long, grueling battle? Might there be other phases? Maybe not if he carries on landing like that. Right hand, Lewis, terrific shot.
He's very, very focused, Lewis. He knows what he's got to do. He's fighting through a game plan.
Let's go.
I think Lewis felt going into this, as long as he didn't get hit by the big right hand again or caught, as long as he was sharp, his boxing skills would take care of business. So far, that's the story, but I stress, so far. It's good from Rahman, doubling up on his job. Usually fighters who can jab with Lewis give him trouble. Ray Mercer did, and Frank Bruno did for quite a long time before Lewis stopped him at 7.
Starting to get his jab more powerful.
Oh! Wonderful shot by Lennox Lewis! And he's laid out Hasim Rahman. Is he going to get up from that? It was a fantastic shot, and Rahman will do very, very well. He will be stopped. It is over. Revenge, redemption for Lennox Lewis, 3-time heavyweight champion of the world for Great Britain, and he could not sensational or sparkling or sizzling in doing it? There's the answer. Rahman turned his world apart in South Africa, and Lewis's answer was to do exactly the same back.
Well, that was the perfect answer. He couldn't have done it better. It was the perfect shot, complete revenge, and he got it in such style. That was exactly what he wanted. You saw how happy Lewis was at that push, beating his chest.
That was, I would say, the performance of Lennox Lewis's career. Bearing in mind everything that's happened.
Well, he was so focused. You know, we wondered if he was perturbed, if Rahman had got under his skin. He just kept himself to himself, did the job, went out there and did a perfect job.
It was a masterclass, and not only that, he closed the show with one of the greatest punches he's ever thrown.
It was truly superb. That was an excellent punch from Lennox Lewis, and he'll have a big, big smile on his face with that.
And all those people around the world, and in the United States especially, who've doubted this man, who've begrudged him his respect and recognition possibly, now he can call himself three-time champion like that.
Well, what a superb combination. The left hand, the left hook and the right hand. We saw it a little bit earlier, the timing much better on this occasion.
And the first thought that goes through my mind, maybe we're getting ahead of the game, listen to the crowd as they watch that, is that when Mike Tyson sees that, he might not want to fight Lennox Lewis.
Not on that form. That was scintillating form from Lennox. Beautiful jab, softened Rahman up. Then he put the left hook, right hand, and that is style.
Rahman had taunted him all week. He'd been full of chat. He'd outwitted Lennox Lewis, but when it mattered in the ring, Lewis delivered, and how. The place is absolutely buzzing here at the Mandalay Bay. The British fans are going wild. Let's get a quick word from Frank Maloney back in London. Is he ready to talk to us? I don't know, amid all the chaos here. Somebody will tell me in a minute. We'll have a word with Frank in good time. Just look at the bedlam in that ring. I think the first thing is to get a word with Lennox Lewis.
He's a freshman. I told you he's a freshman in the game.
Look at Lewis. When have you seen him like that other than the brawl in the TV studio?
You're unknown. No guy test.
He's still coming up now, isn't he? He was a freshman. Hasim the has-been, he's calling him. Whoa. What a night here.
We have the time of 1 minute 29 seconds in round number 4. Our referee in charge, Joe Cortez, reaches the count of 10. The winner by way of knockout. He is now the 3-time heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
How the last 7 months must have hurt him. He's there now, he's ready to talk to Larry Merchant somewhere in there, and I'll be very interested to hear what he says. He wasn't eloquent all week, but he was eloquent enough with his fists. It's some performance, this, by Lennox Lewis. We wondered about whether he was aging, whether there were demons in his mind, whether he'd be tentative. There seemed to be tension around the camp. None of that mattered. Not the way Lewis performed. He'd stoked it all up, he'd worked out what he was going to do, and better than that, he did it. Well, just waiting to join Larry Merchant and their listeners, British fans are singing and chanting. And there is Lennox Lewis, brilliant chap. Here he is with Larry.
Congratulations, Lennox. You came into the fight. Your opponent was bone dry. Did you notice anything right from the start?
Well, I seen a little twinkle in his eye, you know. Plus, I've been dreaming all week to change his name. Change his name from has-been Rahman. His name has been Rahman now.
How did you turn your anger at him for all of the taunts he's been making at you into a positive,
No, man, no.
into a positive for you?
I didn't even hear the question.
I'm sorry, Lennox. How did you turn? How did you turn all the anger that you had welling up in you because of the taunting, because of your own lackluster performance in Africa, into this positive?
I just stayed focused. You know, when we were in South Africa, I said that the belts were on loan. So he's had his 15 minutes of glory. Now they're coming back home to me.
Do you acknowledge now that you didn't give your absolute best effort? You didn't take him seriously in Africa?
Well, you know what? I didn't take him serious enough. I was in good shape in Africa, but you know, one punch, he got through with one punch when I was a little not focusing that fight, and he got through with a great punch. We're in the heavyweight business. You can end things in one punch.
Why did you hide out in your dressing room tonight? You seemed like you were just in your own zone, and you just were focused on what was going to happen.
Yeah, I was very focused. I didn't want to get into the hoopla. I was just showing the world that I was focused. They couldn't see too much of me. Even Rahman wanted to come in and see what I was doing. He was nervous. So he was outside my dressing room. I was laughing. Madiba! Yeah,
right.
big up to Africa.
The first few rounds,
winning.
You describe what you were doing in the first few rounds. Your jab seemed more authoritative than we've ever seen it. You stayed away from his right hand. Was that the plan?
Yeah, just to give him some movement. He couldn't take the movement. And you know, I just showed him a different style. I told you, I can switch any style I want to, and this time I just showed him the different style of moving.
All right, let's go now to the fourth. Let's go to the fourth round and take a look at the knockout. You tell us what you saw. Emmanuel told you in the corner you can be more aggressive. What did you see?
Well, I noticed every time I try and reach around him with a hook, he sticks his arms out. And more time, he's watching out for the straight right hand. So I kind of turned it around on him and threw a roundhouse right hand.
Emmanuel Stewart also said to you, look, this man doesn't counterpunch. You can attack him.
Yeah, you know, I took some of the pressure to him. You know, I gave him a lot of things to think about. Kitchener Waterloo, big up.
What does that mean?
Huh?
What did you just say?
I'm just bigging up all these places. Miami, big up.
All right. It was speculated before this fight, and reasonably, that you had been knocked out by this man, and that you would be conscious of that in this fight. How did you express that?
Well, I definitely wasn't gun shy. You know, plus I wanted to knock him out in the fourth round a little quicker than he knocked me out. So, you know, in a sense, I got my up on him.
Do you feel that any of his pre-fight antics, from the fight at the ESPN publicity tour to all of the stuff that was going on, helped you in any way?
Yeah, it did. Those things really helped me. You know, I showed a lot of disrespect there, and I just was keeping all these things inside me. I said, okay, you're gonna pay fight time, and you know, this is where he paid for it.
Thank you very much. But now talk to us about your future. There are a number of fighters out there who you could fight, whether it's Tyson, Bird, who is a number one ranked fighter. It could be your countryman Kirk Johnson. It could be Vladimir Klitschko. Where do you want to go?
You know, I want Tyson. Definitely want Tyson. You know, I've been waiting for him since after the Holyfield fight, but it doesn't really matter to me. I take whoever. You know, Ocean's 11 is coming up, and I was fighting a guy named Magnovich on the screen, so that fight may come around. There's Bird out there. There's enough guys out there, but you know, whoever.
How satisfying is this fight for you compared to anything else that's happened in your career?
It's very satisfying for me because, you know, a lot of people had me counted out. They said I was too old. They said this may wreck my future. You know, I'm really happy about it. You know, I knew what I wanted to do, what I was going to go out there and do, and I went out and did it.
Thank you very much, Lennox. Congratulations again.
Yeah.
Well, he's absolutely on fire, isn't he, Lennox Lewis? Have you ever seen him that bubbly and excited? I haven't.
Well, it was such an important fight for him, wasn't it? I mean, everything was on the line there. He went into the training camp a lot longer than he ever had before. And, you know, he was in great shape, and he went out there and he did it. He proved almost everybody wrong. And you know, it's not often you're happy to be wrong.
Thank you again, Jim. Hasim, you said that you thought he would try to fight you in some different way tonight. What was that way from your perspective?
Well, I thought he was attacking more early than last time, and provided me plenty of opportunities to counter with my own right hand. But I thought he kept his distance good today. But basically, the whole situation is there ain't no dominant champions out here today. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Hasim Rahman, Evander Holyfield, John Ruiz, any of us could get beaten on any given day. As we keep showing, it's just a round robin, and there ain't no dominant champions out here. I got to give him respect. He prepared well. He was in shape. He threw a nice, hard right hand. I didn't even see the punch coming. He threw it off the hook, blinded me with the hook, and threw the right hand. It was a good punch. I give him enough credit. He got the title. He's the champ. But ain't nobody got no long title reign who I see.
Was his left jab more important in this fight than it was before? Because he seemed to be landing it with more authority, and you weren't lending yours.
Yeah, I think it was not only his jab, but his distance. He did a good job with his footwork and his distance. He stopped me from landing my jab really well. He was a lot more cautious, and he fought a good fight. He my study takes pretty good, and you can't take that away from him. But as you know, any of us get hit with a big right hand, there's a lot of punches at the top of this division. It ain't no heavyweight that's going to stand at the top like that right now.
All right, let's take a look at what happened in the fourth round, Rock, and see how that ended in the round before you finished him in South Africa.
He led with the hook, turned my head with the hook, blinded me with the hook, and took a straight, perfect right hand. With these big, strong guys, lifted an enormous amount of weight, it was a good shot, and I wasn't able to recover. So, that's what happens.
Did that bloody eye bother you at all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he got my eye in the first round. It was dripping, but, I had to go on. I didn't even really want to part at it because, notions to come up that I want to quit or this, that, and the other. But I ain't no quitter. I mean, Lennox Lewis been knocked out, the amateurs and the pros. That's just something that happened in boxing. Some of my fighter get knocked out is how they come back. He came back, showed he a true champion. Now it's up to me to come back and see what I can do.
Do you think that all the taunting that you did so successfully against him before the fight helped him at the end of the day?
I don't know. I think it was his preparation. The taunting, I don't think had anything to do either way. He prepared proper. He had a good game plan. He kept my jab away, and he kept his distance. I thought he fought a very smart, very intelligent fight. And I was, hoping that I could get him into the later rounds where he could slow down a little bit. But, it didn't happen, unfortunately. And I just got to go back to the drawing board.
I take it from your comments that you're going to keep on keeping on and you want more big fights as a heavyweight.
Oh, definitely. I want to fight somebody, who can fight, who I'm not supposed to be able to beat, as always. And I think I got a few more surprises in
Just one thing. Of all the gamblers in this town on this night, you took the biggest gamble of all by taking less money and taking your chance that the future would take care of itself. Do you regret that?
Oh, not at all. Who said I took less money? My purse ain't tallied up yet. My purse is generated on pay-per-view buys, the crowd sales. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me what I made. Can you tell me what I made?
No, I'm not a good accountant.
I might make $5-6 million more than him.
Thank you very much, Rock. We'll see you again.
He might make more money than Lennox Lewis when they add out the pay-per-view sales for this fight. But the only thing that matters is that Lewis has the title back. It was a brilliant performance. He answered his critics. He answered every question. He dominated throughout. He was brilliant with the jab and concluded the argument with a right hand every bit as good as the one that Hasim Rahman decked him with so spectacularly in Carnival City 7 months ago. It's quite a story here. More from Vegas later. We'll take a break for the moment.
And they're cheering for Lennox Lewis all over Las Vegas, and why not? Thoughts of Frank Maloney, Barry and Nicky when we come back. Lennox Lewis had to show us something special. That has got to be one of the high points even in his career.